Now, our second big game this weekend is the one that's getting all the attention. This one deserves to be talked about the most. This one is going to be talked about the entire week after the game is played. And it's going to be brought up on a weekly basis because of the implications that this is going to have on the SEC championship game and especially the college football playoff. Tennessee playing Alabama at home. 3:30 kick on CBS. It's been a very long time, and in my lifetime as a 24-year-old, I have not witnessed a actually good Tennessee team. They're a program that's had a tendency. That sounds so stupid. A tendency to be overranked and then eventually exposed. And in my lifetime, this is one of the few times I can sit here and say that they are as hyped up and as good as they are to be hyped up. They are living up to the expectations. Coming into one of the first times in my time, a competitive matchup against Alabama, a game in which they have a legitimate shot to beat Alabama. Now, Hendon Hooker and Tennessee's offense have been on an aggressive tear, a violent tear. Currently second in scoring offense and first in total offense with a total up in the 500s, scoring close to 50 points a game. That stuff is noticeable, especially because some of those wins have come against, at the time, ranked opponents. At the very least, albeit Pitt and Florida are, I believe, both are neither ranked at this point, they're still competitive quality teams. It's not like they played an FCS schedule and a bunch of group of 5 teams all the way through. There is absolute truth to the dominance that they have shown on the offensive side of the football. And a lot of that they've done without their best receiver in Cedric Tillman. This game is the most complicated to predict, as in any circumstance similar to this one, because Alabama might be starting Jalen Milroe this game. There's a possibility that they do not have Bryce Young, who suffered a shoulder injury a couple weeks ago against Arkansas. We all saw, and I spoke very highly of Milroe. I said that him in the game, he's not the type of quarterback like Bryce who can keep them in a game when things aren't going well. He's not that type of guy. But I have expressed that his athleticism adds a different fold that is difficult to prepare for an opposing defensive coordinator. Because he is really fast, he's very athletic. But what we witnessed last week, I was very much humbled. I was very humbled by the way that he played against Texas A&M because they realized his key weakness is not protecting the football. If you get after him and you pressure him, he has shown that he is somebody who is going to turn the football over to the point where those turnovers and the rest of the turnovers that they've had this season, Alabama is one of the worst teams in the country in turnover margin. They're bottom 20 or 30, I believe, in turnover margin. They are struggling to protect the football. And a lot of it comes down to the performance that they had last week when Milroe fumbled the ball 3 times. I see this game as a duality of outcomes. There's an outcome with Bryce Young, and there's an outcome with Milroe in the game. Sorry, there's an outcome without Bryce Young. There's an outcome with Bryce Young playing in this game. If Bryce Young plays, I believe that they still win this football game. Alabama has been one of the best defenses in the country. They have the most dominant pass rush that is leading to their secondary playing at a higher level than they possibly could be, only allowing 166 pass yards per game so far this season. I always point to in these matchups with a high-powered passing attack and a really good pass defense with a really good pass rush, I always side with the defense, especially when it's littered with NFL talent. And it's led by the best player in the country, the likely first overall pick, who should be the first overall pick if it's not a quarterback, in Will Anderson. Will Anderson is capable of taking over football games, and he's very capable of doing it in this instance. If Bryce Young plays this game, Alabama's defense has shown an ability to significantly drag down opposing offenses. If they do that in this game and they come out and they not completely, but at least slow down knock off most of the offensive production that we usually see from them on a week-to-week basis. That allows Bryce Young to play within his realm and do what he's done already so far against, Texas is the one game that I point to. Their defense stepped up. Skill players did not, but Bryce did. Bryce did everything in his power to keep them in that football game and to help them win. And in this situation against Tennessee, if he plays in this game, even if it's a little bit banged up, I have faith if this is a close football game and it comes down to a drive, that Bryce Young wins that football game. On the flip side, if Milroe is the starter for Alabama, it should be a foregone conclusion that Tennessee wins. Tennessee has become like a favorite pick, and I think that no matter what, if Milroe plays, they win this football game. If Milroe turns the ball over even once, they very well could be out of it. And I like Jalen Milroe. Like, I think next year when he takes over as the starter, he is going to be a really good quarterback. But it takes time to develop the proper instincts to step up against Texas A&M, which he didn't really do because of the mistakes that he made, and to step up in this game against Tennessee that has your season potentially on the line. Milroe, if he does not protect the football, it is going to be very easy for Tennessee to pull away. They can score in an instant, and we've seen that. Huge chunk plays with a number of different players. It's not just Hendon Hooker. It's every player on that offense that is helping him and that is working alongside him to produce all of these gaudy statistics that I mentioned. So if Milroe plays and he's the starting quarterback, it should be an easy pick. It's an easy pick. It's going to be Tennessee. And as much as I just gave a ton of faith to Alabama's defense, there's only so much you can do as a defense to keep your offense alive when it has been struggling. And when you have a quarterback who can't lead a game-winning drive, who's incapable of doing that. I'm hoping that Milroe has that in him, and I think that down the line that he could potentially be that guy. But as of right now, this is a very tall task for him. And so far, he is only disappointed in his performances.